Hello and welcome to everybody here. Thank you so much for joining us. It's so great to see so many new names and some familiar ones too. My name is Marcia Nykamp, and I'm the Director of Sales here at Driftscape. I've been working in the tech industry for over 14 years now. With over the last 2 years, I've directed my focus towards providing technical solutions to the tourism industry. Every day, I speak with municipalities and regional organizations from across Canada. And while doing this, I'm able to observe some definite trends and some pitfalls that we can all learn from. So, with these observations in mind, we decided to do this webinar today to share our experiences with all of you. The topic of today's webinar is old ways, old results, new ways, exceptional results. How to use digital tools to leave the old behind and embrace the new. Over the next hour, we're going to be talking about some of the more traditional ways of promoting your destination and why some of these methods could actually be adding to these frustrations. We'll also explore a few different ways that others are going digital. I'm here today with Pooja Chitnis, recently recognized as one of the top 20 leading women in tech across Canada. She's a certified digital marketing specialist and Rocheston Distinguished Service Provider awardee. In her role as Director of Marketing and Customer Success, Pooja has helped several tourism, events, and organizations and hospitality organizations gain a cutting edge in visitor services. Hey, Pooja, thanks for joining me today.
Hey, Marcia, thanks for having me. And hello to all our attendees. I'm excited about today's session and I look forward to exploring the old and the new with you.
Thanks, Pooja. Just a couple really quick housekeeping notes before we get started. We do have 1 hour for this webinar. And if you have any questions throughout the webinar, please ask through the Q&A button that you'll see on the top left-hand side of your screen. We'll answer as many as we can at the end of the webinar, but any questions that we don't get answered will be answered in a follow-up email. For those of you who aren't as familiar with Driftscape, Driftscape is an ad-free mobile storytelling application. It was designed specifically for exploration and discovery. Our mission is to provide tools for visitors to explore your unique sites and stories while providing you with the tools you need to promote them. And now that we have housekeeping done, in the first part of this webinar, we're going to discuss some of the most common pain points and traditional approaches that I've heard organizations like yours mention as a cause of frustration. To start, COVID has led many of you to put a hyper-local campaign in place throughout 2020, and it makes complete sense. But efforts to introduce your locals to your hidden gems and promote local shopping with the traditional marketing strategies have given a mixed bag of results. Hey, Pooja, you're in marketing and you deal with promotions on a day-to-day basis. Do you have any insights about why this might be?
That's true, Marcia. Hyperlocal tourism is what most municipalities are focusing on right now. But meeting all the needs of their locals and visitors has proven challenging. Think of it this way. Visitors want guided experiences, but they don't want a stranger with them. They want up-to-date information, but they don't want to visit a visitor center. They want a map, but they don't want a paper. And the list just goes on. And due to all of these factors, all our current and traditional approaches are gathering what you just referred to as the mixed bag of results.
Right. And probably a lot of our attendees already know this, but most of the time, your local residents don't even go to your local tourism website or to the visitor center. And they really don't think they need a brochure or a map of their hometown. Often they walk by a unique local site and don't even know about it or its importance. And then on top of this, there's the challenge of wanting to support and promote local shopping. You want your locals to shop locally instead of ordering from mass distributors or by going to the next town over.
Correct. COVID's caused tourism organizations to rethink their strategies and deal with these challenging new problems. Traditional methods that are used to engage visitors just don't work with locals during a pandemic. In fact, Marcia, let's do a quick poll with our attendees to learn more about what they've been doing to promote their destination.
Good idea, Pooja. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to pull up a poll and you'll see it pop up on your screen. Please take a minute to respond. And if there aren't any answers that suit you or your organization, please send us a private message with your answer. We'll tally the results and we'll send them to everyone after this webinar. So our question is, what have you done to promote local exploration within your destination? Oh, wow, some great results coming in here. All right, so it looks like right now, the most commonly chosen solution or option here is updated our website. So that's awesome. Thank you for that feedback. Like I said, we will share the rest of these results at the as a follow-up to this webinar. All right, so we've just talked a little bit about why some of those more traditional marketing approaches don't always work with your hyper-local focus. Now, let's chat about some of the new visitor trends that we're seeing. Pooja, based on your conversations with Driftscape partners, what trends are you seeing?
Well, what we've heard from our partners and learned from our users is that visitors during the pandemic are commonly residents from a nearby town or city. They're looking for something to do and want to explore new sites, but they don't want to go too far. Or like I said earlier, they don't want to interact with strangers or visit a visitor center.
And it's totally understandable. That makes sense. It's partly due to COVID, but it's also because print materials are becoming a thing of the past. Travelers want to know the answer to what is there to do here while they're on the go. And everyone uses their cell phone while they're traveling, so they expect to be able to use it to explore and discover the things to do. Unfortunately, searches from their phones don't always direct visitors to the sites that are important to you or to them. If we look at Toronto, Ontario as an example, when Googled, the top 10 list suggests the obvious major sites like CN Tower, Ripley's Aquarium, Royal Ontario Museum, or Casa Loma. Calgary, Alberta's top 10 lists include Calgary Stampede, the Calgary Zoo, Wonderland Sculpture, and the Calgary Tower. And one more example, and I like to include this one, is Moose Jaw, Saskatchewan. I love this city because it's got so many amazing sites and stories to tell and tons of history. A Google search suggests that the top 10 sites include the tunnels of Moose Jaw, Wacamo Valley, Murals of Moose Jaw, and Buffalo Pound Provincial Park. And we agree, these are all really great sites to visit. But what they don't highlight for visitors or for locals is all the amazing stories, unique sites, and history throughout the city. And they definitely don't direct visitors to your local businesses. Visitor trends aside, there is one challenge that's on everyone's mind. It's a 4-letter word that nobody likes to think about. What is that word? Does anybody want to take a guess? Okay, well, the word is budget. And it's probably not a 4-letter word, but I think it's safe to say that it does evoke similar feelings. So with the cost cuts that 2020 has brought upon many tourism organizations and fewer visitors, it can almost feel impossible to get ahead of the game.
This is so true, Marsha. One common line item I've heard clients talk about in their budget is print material. Between the time spent calling local businesses to buy an ad spot to pay for these materials, the cost to print them, and the time and expense gone into distributing them, print materials can sometimes account for up to 25% or more of their annual marketing budget.
Yeah, I can actually see that. I know in some of my conversations, I've heard municipalities tell me that their annual print expenses cost upwards of $50,000 a year.
Wow.
It's a lot of money. And it's a lot of money to spend on materials that get outdated quickly, almost immediately after printing. And they don't provide you with analytics like where your visitors are coming from or the sites they found interesting. All of these challenges can seem daunting and frustrating, but there are solutions. This year, many of you have a new mandate, and that's to go digital. It's a very broad mandate, and it can look like many different things. So what we're going to do is we'll explore some of these solutions available to you. But before we do this, let's take a look at a critical tool that all of you have in common, your website. Pooja, with your marketing background, why don't you take the lead here?
Sure, Marsha. So many organizations have taken time during COVID to revamp their website. They've made their go digital mandate into a focus on recreating it. And that's a great idea. I've seen some amazing websites come out of this, and it's definitely a step in the right direction. After all, a good website can help you get discovered in the World Wide Web, share bulk information, build credibility, create visual appeal among your visitors, manage bookings, answer visitor queries with live chats, and so much more. But Marsha, as we know that while all of this is going to help, there are a few things that a website cannot give you. And that is where mobile apps come in. They're a great complementary tool for your website.
Yes, you're right, Pooja. Mobile applications can complement your website by providing things like location-aware notifications. So if you remember earlier, we talked about how locals don't necessarily see the need to go to the visitor center, and they often don't know about the unique local sites around them. Through geo notifications, mobile applications can give them the ability to explore and learn about the hidden gems in your region while they're on the go, directing them to places of interest, historic sites, and learning about the interesting stories that they wouldn't necessarily know about and might walk by every day without even realizing it. And on top of this, location aware technology makes mobile apps really great for self guided tours too. While web-based maps on your site can be used for tours, mobile apps actually have a leg up when it comes to providing an interactive and self-guided tour experience. And of course, you want to have analytics about your visitors. Knowing where your visitors are coming from and the sites they explore is really important to you. So using GPS location data, mobile applications can give you all of this information. And with us living in a COVID world right now, giving your locals and visitors updates in a timely manner is crucial. In-app notifications can help share real-time information that addresses this need. And one more thing, there is the issue of load time too. I read an article recently by 26 Digital, and it stated that every extra second taken by a website to load can actually cost you 10% of your visitors. And with more than 60% of tourism website traffic coming from travelers surfing on their mobile devices, mobile apps built for user engagement can help you tackle this issue. So all of this is to say that by combining your website with a mobile application, you can create an interactive and immersive experience for locals and visitors while directing them to the sites that are important to you, and you can encourage shopping along the way. So let's pause for just one more quick moment and do another quick poll to see what our audience has to say, Pooja. In just a minute, you'll see another pop up on your screen. It's a very quick question this time. And the question is, if I can get this started, can you relate to the challenges that we've discussed so far? All right. Looks like the votes are in. And the good news is there are different mobile solutions that can do all of these things for you. So over the next few minutes of our webinar, we're going to explore some of these solutions. The very first solution we'll look at is a white labeled mobile application. A white labeled mobile application is built specifically for your destination. Visitors and locals download the app when they arrive and use it to explore. Like Driftscape, the goal of a white labeled app is to highlight the sites that are important to you so that visitors and locals can explore with ease. But unlike Driftscape, it's only focused on one location. It has a very small audience, a limited feature set, and it's difficult to maintain. With Driftscape, partners can access advanced features and analytics with a lower cost, less hassle, and the benefit of reaching a broader audience. So for the purpose of this webinar, we took a look at two different mobile white labeled solutions, what they offer, and compared them to Driftscape. Based on the challenges that we discussed earlier, we broke the comparison down into three different categories: cost, visitor engagement, and added benefits. So as you can see, white labeled mobile apps are very expensive to build and to maintain. Building a white labeled app can put you out of pocket for upwards of $10,000 before your app is even built. The two that we're discussing today are on the lower end of the price scale so that we can compare more closely. In some cases, white labeled apps charge not just an annual fee, but also a maintenance fee. And then, of course, there is the matter of control over your content. It's a concern that a lot of organizations have. You want to have control of that. Managing or updating your content is not always the easiest in white label platforms. In some cases, you actually need to contact the provider who does it for you, and sometimes for a fee. And as mentioned, the goal of a mobile app is to highlight the sites that are important to you, to encourage visitors and locals to explore them. Having an engaging mobile app features is a great way to keep users interested and exploring. Some white labeled apps have a few of the features, as you can see here, that engage your visitors with your sites, but not all of the features. And the third and final area that we looked at was added benefits. So added benefits are features or support that you might not think about right away. For example, having a shared platform is a huge benefit to any organization. Every partner on a shared platform encourages locals and visitors to explore through the shared app, meaning you gain and share users from every other partner, making your marketing efforts easier. When you use a white label provider, it's solely up to you and your marketing efforts to get your visitors to download the app. Oftentimes, white labeled mobile apps get less than a few hundred downloads per year.
Yep. A single shared mobile app leverages the marketing reach of all its partners. Our user growth expands rapidly with every new content partner added to it.
Right. And one last point I do want to make is about ensuring your white label provider can support you long term. It's extremely important. I know I've spoken with many organizations who had their own app built only to have that provider stop supporting it, leaving them with an app they can't update or that just stops working. Okay, so let's go back to some of those challenges that we talked about earlier. And one of them was the need to support local businesses. Another mobile solution is a coupon redemption app. They seem like a great idea. They help by encouraging residents and visitors to shop locally, right? Pooja, do you have another opinion there, Pooja?
Well, okay, so while mobile apps are a great idea, just like the point you discussed for white label apps, there is the matter of managing the coupons, their listings, their redemption model, both on the user and business front, and so on. You would either have to manage all of this all on your own or pay your service provider an additional fee yet again to manage all of this for you. More money, more wait time, more hassle. Not really the easiest thing to do, is it, Marsha?
Yeah, unfortunately, the reality of these types of apps are while they may encourage some local shopping, locals and visitors aren't really interested only in coupons. If you are looking to encourage exploration and engage your visitors, it's just not the way to go. Visitors and locals want to explore, and coupon redemption apps just aren't designed for that. So let's talk about how the new can be exceptional. Pooja, in your experiences, what are some of the reasons why organizations choose Driftscape?
Well, Marsha, Driftscape partners have cited that they chose our app because it helps them answer the question, what is there to do here for their visitors? It helps empower their locals to explore their own backyard. And I can relate to this, right? Many times as locals, we don't even know that there is a hidden gem in our own hometown. And with COVID, we as locals are exploring sites that are close by to us more often. Then there is the fact of Driftscape being a shared platform. It has created the opportunity for our partners to partner with their neighboring towns and cities and drive tourism to their region. The app has also helped them share their local stories of history, art, culture, and other things in an engaging way through self guided interactive tours packed with images, audio, and video. Our partners have also been able to share instant updates with their visitors and locals because of Driftscape, a definite boon during COVID. This is something that print materials can't provide you. But mobile applications can complement these tools and give visitors and locals update about what's happening in real time. Driftscape also played well as a digital visitor center for our partners. With people hesitant to interact with strangers or visitor centers, this capability helped our partners tackle this new challenge quite easily. Also, by providing people in general the ability to couch surf their destination with Driftscape, Our partners have managed to ensure that they stay top of mind not only during COVID, but after COVID as well. And as the topic of the webinar, Go Digital, Driftscape has helped them achieve this mandate successfully by giving them the benefits of their very own app minus the hassle and cost of maintaining it. And last but not the least, with the help of the app, the need to print maps and guides is reduced, saving a lot of dollars for our partners.
Amazing. Thanks, Pooja. Because Driftscape is a digital solution that complements your existing tools, your reduced 2020 and 2021 budget can go even further. Many organizations that I've worked with have actually used a small portion of their print budget to implement Driftscape. And they can do this because with Driftscape in place, the requirement for the print materials is decreased, like Pooja just mentioned. Driftscape was built for exploration. It's our core belief that continuing to add product features that are more compelling for user engagement is critical. So I'm going to talk a little bit about these features over the next few minutes, just before I introduce our brand new visitor engagement tool. But before we do that, I would be remiss if we don't talk about our amazing customer success team and how they work with every new partner coming on board.
Thanks, Marsha. So when you sign up, you'll be assigned a dedicated Driftscape customer success team member who take the time to understand what your goals are of using Driftscape and help you create the right strategy based on what we've seen as best practices. Once we have these strategies in place, we'll train you on how to use our content management system and provide you with supporting documentation. We will also stay in touch with you throughout your journey to make sure that it's a convenient and easy one. When you're ready to go live, we hold a marketing strategy session with you. In this session, we create co-marketing plans and work with you to create strategies for marketing your content within Driftscape, as well as by leveraging various other channels like social media and so on.
Hey, Pooja, I get this question a lot, so maybe you can answer it for us today. How long does it take to go live?
Right. That's a really good question, Marsha. First of all, going live means having your content uploaded and published as live within our content management system. When it's live, Driftscape app users will be able to see all your points of interest, be it tours, places, or events that you've created. The time it takes to do this will depend on how much content you have already. An average time frame is about 2 months, but I've seen some go live in as short as a month. No matter what, though, our customer success team is there to help our partners in every single step of the way.
Yeah, when we say 24/7 support, we really do mean it. So let's talk a little bit about the features. So as we talked about before, Driftscape is an app built for exploring and telling your stories. We support 3 different kinds of points of interest: places, events, and tours. It's a free download for users, so they can simply download the app, select what they're interested in, start walking, and they get notified when there's something nearby. So remember those location-aware notifications that we mentioned earlier? Users of Driftscape get a notification when they pass by a point of interest that you've added to the map. It really allows users to discover those hidden gems in your area. And on top of those notifications, everything you add to Driftscape is searchable. You can create your own hashtags or keywords for visitors to search and discover. And you can also organize your content into categories, or what we call sublayers. These features add another level of personalization to your visitor's experience. A great example of a Driftscape customer that is using categories to help their visitors is Interlake Tourism Association. It's a regional organization based out of Manitoba.
Right. They're currently working on creating their content, so you won't see it within Driftscape just yet. But like others who want to organize their content for visitors, they have created 4 categories: do, eat, see, and stay.
Yeah, the categories allow your visitors to quickly see the types of content that they're interested in. And then there's self-guided tours. Self-guided tours are probably one of the most powerful and popular features within Driftscape.
Very true, Marsha. Even before COVID, organizations have really enjoyed taking advantage of providing their visitors and locals with engaging, informative self-guided tours.
You're right, Pooja. And unlike other types of apps that say they support tours, Driftscape users can see the mapped out tour in list mode or in tour view, which is a map view. Each stop is numbered, and users can start the tour at any stop or by tapping the Start Tour button and starting at the beginning. And like Pooja mentioned earlier, within Driftscape, tours can be created with text, images, audio, and video. It's a great way to be able to tell the story of each stop along your tour. One of my favorite examples of this can be found in Brockville, Ontario. A fun fact about Brockville is that they are actually home to Canada's first railway tunnel. It has actually become a tourist attraction over the years for visitors to their city. Before COVID, Brockville actually had tour guides within that tunnel who took visitors through the tour and explained each stop along the way. Now, Brockville has actually created an audio tour. So visitors can literally just pop in their earbuds and follow along in Driftscape, learning about each stop along the way. When it comes to tours, though, the possibilities really are endless. We've seen some amazing use cases for them, like walking tours of historical and cultural landmarks in Jasper or St. John's, food tours in St. Mary's, hiking trails in North Bay, and of course, local business tours everywhere. Okay, so I've talked a little bit about places and tours, and the other type of point of interest that users can find within Driftscape is events. Events really didn't happen this year, and because the future of events is unclear, events are very difficult to plan, and if you can plan them, having printed materials isn't likely helpful or even desired by attendees. But even when COVID wasn't a global challenge, event updates were very difficult to stay on top of. Digital tools that promote your events are an easy alternative to this frustration. Within Driftscape, users can search for upcoming events, read about them, and link out to buy tickets. And you can use a QR code that opens Driftscape directly to promote your event too. A couple of examples of events using Driftscape. So in 2019, Driftscape was the mobile app partner for the Toronto Fringe Festival. For those of you who don't know what that is, it's a festival that attracts over 100,000 visitors each year, and it's to celebrate and promote the arts and theater. So attendees use Driftscape to navigate the venue, learn about the artists and productions, and get current information and updates. And of course, as you can see here, there's the Sound of Music Festival. They use Driftscape this year to support their virtual events. And when it comes to going digital, organizations often have a mandate to implement augmented reality tools. Augmented reality is an exceptional way to engage with visitors and locals with the sites around them. Using augmented reality, users can literally just hold up their phone and see all of the points of interest that are nearby. A quick tap on the callout will give more information about that specific POI. Just a fun story here. We like to call our augmented reality feature the Pokemon Go for your site.
Sorry to interrupt, Marcia, but you mentioned a feature a minute ago, and I want to make sure that we talk a little bit more about it. This feature is a great one. It helps make content within Driftscape feel more exclusive. I'm talking about QR codes and deep links. Driftscape deep links and QR codes are unique to the organization for which they're created. So when you put that link or QR code on your website, social media, or print material, and a visitor clicks or scans it, it will launch the Driftscape app with an exclusive view of just your content while hiding every other point of interest in the app. This way, you get the best of both worlds. You get to be a part of a shared platform while showcasing your exclusive local content.
Thanks, Pooja. That is a good point to make. QR codes are a great way to promote specific sites, tours, or like Pooja just mentioned, give an exclusive view of just your content. And while we know that organizations like you want to provide your visitors and locals with the best possible information about your site, you also really want to know about who your visitors are. It's a statistic that many struggle to find with traditional marketing strategies. Some mobile solutions provide you this information by preventing the users from being able to get a full experience of the app unless they provide their personal information. It's not a great experience for users and oftentimes results in the user deleting the app. Driftscape does not collect any kind of personal information about the users, and we don't gate any of the functionality or content ever. We're dedicated to giving users the best possible exploration experience. But with that said, we are able to provide you with very useful information about who's visiting, the sites they visit, how long they stay, and many other details that can be used to help with your grant applications or in directing your marketing efforts more effectively. And we can do this without collecting their personal information. And we can do this because we can leverage GPS location data. One last feature that we want to talk about today is our brand new feature that we're launching today. Everyone here is in for a sneak peek about our new feature here. So without hesitation, I am thrilled to introduce Driftscape Quests. Quests is our name for a scavenger hunt feature. They're a great way to gamify exploration through your destination. You can create hints and clues to encourage your locals and visitors to play, learn, and explore, all while highlighting your hidden gems and telling your stories. And you can create football to your local businesses by including them as a stop along the hunt. They can be played from at home or while on site. And if you want to check out what a user might see, when you download Driftscape, you can do a search in the search bar for #quests, and you can see all of the quests that we've created. One thing I do want to mention before we get into your questions is that we've only covered some of the features that'll ease some of your frustrations. If you want a full product demonstration, please feel free to reach out to me directly. I will provide my contact information at the end of this presentation. So let's get into your questions. Pooja, would you mind reading them out for me?
No problem. Oh, our first question is in already. So Marsha, the first question is, do I get full control of my content?
That is a good question. And like I said earlier, it is something that a lot of organizations are concerned about. So the answer is yes. With Driftscape, you have complete control over your content. You can add as much as you want or as little as you want. And yeah, and if as a bonus, if you're unsure about a strategy about what you're adding in, we're happy to brainstorm together and share some best practices too.
Second question, how does Driftscape charge customers for the service? And do we have to pay extra to edit and maintain the content later on?
Sure. So Driftscape charges an annual fee. It's charged once a year. That's it. And the price is determined when you sign up. It's based on the package you choose, any add-ons you add on, and any other features that you want. And there's no surprises on your invoice at all. And the other part, sorry, was do you have to pay for content edits? Is that what it was?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. So no, you don't have to charge. You don't have to pay any money for content edits at all. You can log in and make as many changes as you want, as often as you want. It's completely up to you.
Next question. We've considered having our own app built for us by a consulting company. How do you feel about that compared to white labeling or Driftscape?
So when it comes to what you're talking about there, that is a white labeled app. So it would be an app that's built specifically for your destination. Again, having the same kinds of challenges that we talked about earlier about a white labeled app.
Is there a version of Driftscape for our website, or can we embed Driftscape maps?
Okay, so I don't know how much I can say here. What I will say is our engineering team is actively working on this. And I hope to have some exciting news early next year. I think I should probably stop saying anything more about that right now, though.
And here's one more. What are some digital solutions you have seen organizations use to get ahead?
Okay, wow, these are great questions, guys. So we did focus mostly on mobile applications because when polled, I think it was 88% of travelers said they like mobile apps that allow them to discover things to see and do from a local's perspective. Let's see, the other things that we've heard. So we talked about earlier website launches. They're really popular this year, and as we saw in the poll results there too. But outside of websites, I've seen some really creative ideas too. So through Ontario and Alberta, I saw a few different regional organizations do campaigns with videos. It was love letters. So it was videos created by locals to encourage them to explore the sites around them. It was another video again. It was using humor. A city in Newfoundland was used. It was absolutely hilarious. They used a video to promote their sites. And I think that video itself got, close to 100,000 views. I don't know how that translated into visitors, especially this year, but it definitely piqued my interest there. And then I guess it's not really digital, but I've seen a lot of municipalities use downtown dollars or local bucks or things something along those terms, and those dollars act as real currency in downtown cores to promote local shopping in downtown and local stores.
I think I think you shared that video with me, and it was amazing. That video is really good, and I like the love letter concept as well. I mean, it would definitely pique my interest as well.
Yeah.
One question come in.
Sure.
We go live. Do we have to pay more to maintain or change our content in Driftscape?
So no. When you go live, and even before you go live, you can. So let me just back up a second. Our customer success team, as Pooja mentioned earlier, will train you on how to use our content management system, make any updates or changes, help you with strategies if you want. But then once you're live, you can literally log into that content management system at any time and make any changes that you want. And there's no charge at all for that.
Okay, here's another one. Does the Driftscape app get updates and bug fixes? Do we have to pay for that?
Okay, so yes, good question. So it depends on the updates on, sorry, what was it? Apps, bug fixes?
Yep. Updates and bugs.
I was going down a different path there. So yeah, updates on bug fixes, absolutely. You'll get all of those bug fixes updated. Unlike with some other kinds of applications, you actually have to maintain those fixes yourself. But with Driftscape, you do get them.
Oh, here's another one. As a single app, does that mean we get new features for free when they are made available?
Wow, you guys are asking some great questions here. Okay, so as a single app, new features are available, but it will depend on the package that you're on. Some packages don't get all of the new features, others do. So it would be up to what the feature is and what package you're on.
Okay, here's another one. I'm curious about app adoption. Is research saying people are more or less reluctant to download apps? Has this changed because of COVID?
That's a great question. Let me see here. Well, I can talk about our adoption rates. I don't know about others' adoption rates. So what I will tell you is that actually, I don't know if I have any specific stats on this. You know what? Let me do some backup research on this, and I will send an update as follow-up to this webinar.
That sounds good. A quick input on that question, Marsha. So app downloads, I would personally, again, this is not backed by stats, but based on my personal experience with friends and family, if you get an app like that lets you do things from home because you're spending so much time in four walls, I believe the download rate should be on a positive side. Especially for an app like Driftscape, which lets you couch surf. So you're able to explore different destinations from home, as well as it helps you plan if a certain region makes you feel comfortable to visit. Because like once you book a demo, you'll see there are various other features in Driftscape that help users stay updated in real time about the situation over there, and that adds a lot to your comfort as well as that feeling of safety during COVID.
Yeah, and I know just even from my personal experience, just surfing through some of the great sites on Driftscape, I know that as I learn more about some of these locations, I know that there's going to be some places that I go to visit when the ability allows.
Yep. We have a few more other questions,
Okay,
Marsha.
sure.
When are we invoiced for Driftscape? Before or after we take the app live?
So you would be invoiced, again, this is going to depend on the package and plan and all the great stuff that we come up with for you. But you're invoiced on an annual basis, and it could be before you go live, but it could be after. It will depend.
Next question. Just going back to the bug fixes and updates, the question was, do we pay for it? I guess they want clarity on whether they pay for the updates and bug fixes.
My apologies. No, you don't pay for bug fixes or updates.
Okay, here's another. Can app users filter the Driftscape content by interest, that is food, history, and so on?
Yeah, so if you take a look in Driftscape, there are different categories. So you can add yourself to as many categories as you want as an organization. And you can also create different hashtags for your visitors to search for as well.
So that was the last question that came in. Let's probably just give it another minute to see if anyone else has another question.
Sounds good.
Oh, here's another one.
Mm-hmm.
Are the Android and iOS apps different?
Good question. So we do try to make the platforms 100% functionally the same. And we use the same kind of interface as to make it obvious for everyone to be able to use. The only difference that I would say is between iOS and Android is augmented reality. Augmented reality is only available on iOS, but we just hope to have that available on Android later, hopefully later next year.
Here's another one. Do you pay more for listings under additional categories?
No, you do not. You can, that is all part of your package, and there's no additional fees there. You can just add yourself to any categories that you want.
Awesome. Here's another one. How much of the content do you develop and how much do we do on our own? We provide the info and Driftscape formats it. Do you want me to say it?
Yeah, actually, I think Pooja, this is the perfect one for you to answer, though.
Okay, sure. I'll take this one on.
Sure.
So content creation is usually owned and created by our partners themselves. We do help in formatting it. So the way it will work is that once we've onboarded you, you will go in, create your places, events, and tours. Whenever you need support, we're here. You just need to let us know and we'll come in and help you wherever you're stuck. Before you go live, our team does a review of everything to ensure that everything is fine. If your content is looking good, if there are any changes that we think would are needed or would look better, we will set up a call with you, recommend those to you. And of course, like we said earlier, we are here with you through every single step of the way. So, even if it is that you need some support getting your content up in the app and things like that, we're here. We'll help you get that done. But the content is usually created by our partners.
You want to wrap it up there, Pooja?
Yes, I think that's the last question so far.
There were some great questions in there, guys. I'm going to take that one away, and I promise I'll follow up with everybody here. So thank you so much for taking some time and asking all these questions and taking some time to learn about digital solutions and how you can get ahead. Like I mentioned earlier, if you want to contact me with any other questions, or if you want to set up a product demonstration, please feel free to reach out to me. My contact information is on the screen. Thank you so much, everyone.
Thank you, everyone.